Hey guys, Kyle Allstott here. I'm your host of SurReal. I'm an avid bow hunter, and I wanted to make a podcast with average hunters like myself and yourself. Not for anyone to get recognized, not for sponsors, not to bring on just pros, but to bring you guys on and relay some information that you guys are seeing from the woods on an everyday basis. Whether you're hunting deep woods, whether you're hunting a food plot, whether you're in a tree stand or blind, what the weather was like, um, and mainly movement, and even bringing tactics to the table on what you've used that have worked for you. But I think having a podcast where we can come together as a whitetail community within the Midwest is going to be very beneficial for a lot of us that have jobs that we can't get out and hunt every cold front and hunt every day like a pro can, but we're only allowed to hunt the weekends. Well, having short little episodes of movement daily that people are seeing um, will hopefully be beneficial for not only new hunters, but even hunters like myself that have been hunting since I was a kid. I can't wait to hear from a lot of you guys on. I always stay open-minded as a hunter, and learning new tactics is to get closer to these freaks is huge on my mindset. Or even just hearing movement is that's everyone's main conversation when they're talking to another hunter is what'd you see for movement? What are you seeing? As far as like all my friend group goes, that's everyone wants, what are you seeing for movement, you know? And it's like, yeah, we have so many tools nowadays, whether it's trail cameras, the food plots we can put in and even just our scouting tools to being able to learn our lands a little more and hunt them on the right winds. And I mean, that's the key is obviously learning your lands. And I know each land is going to be different from state to state and in day to day. Someone might see movement here, but this might be dead over here. But why was this dead over here? Were you set up wrong? And I feel like, you know, any information we can gain on to rethink the way we're going about trying to get closer to these whitetails and get on a mature deer is going to play a key factor in our success. And as far as it goes, is what part of the season we're in. And I know I'm starting this podcast late towards the pre-rut, but early season, people fall into that, oh man, what am I doing? I haven't seen nothing. And are we in the October? No, we're not in the October lull. That's a farce. But even when it comes close to pre-rut and people are throwing calls out there that they shouldn't be, and um, seeing, on a cold front that's closer to the pre-rut like we had this past weekend in Iowa. And I hope a lot of people had success and capitalized on that. But a lot of newer hunters too will see that movement, spike, whether it's mature bucks or you might see a buck pushing around a doe. I mean, I've seen a bunch of videos and Snapchats that got sent to me and of a buck, a mature buck, even at that, and they were with a doe, and people automatically assume like, oh man, the rut's starting early this year, and then they ended up, that information they gathered all preseason on getting that stand. I don't know one person that doesn't have that rut stand picked out that a lot of traffic goes through for bucks during the rut, and they got that stand picked out, and they end up going in there and blowing it out too quick and not holding off to that right moment. And I feel like coming here with short little podcasts and seeing what's going on within the Midwest whitetail movement will play a huge factor and hopefully draw some success towards some people with what other people are seeing so they don't go in and do that, and seeing if the deer are being receptible to them calls. So either way, I know there's not going to be a lot of perfection within this podcast. All the right things might not be said. I hope there's not too much judgment on that side of things, because it's not going to be a professional podcast. It's just going to be your average day hunters speaking what they see, and we're all gaining knowledge. So if we all stay open-minded, stay humble, and respect each other and work together as a family to gain more knowledge and try to be more successful in the woods, I think that's a key factor in our whitetail community family. So whatever platform you prefer to listen to a podcast on, I hope you subscribe. I hope everyone enjoys this. I hope I get a lot of people reaching out, whether it's to come on live. And like I said, we'll get you set up with Anchor. You can come on live and talk if you don't feel comfortable. Send in a message. We'll get that relayed onto the podcast. And yeah, I'll see you in the next episode, I hope.